Welcome to the official MKBHD channel in the gleaming glass tower of one of the city's most powerful companies. CEO Isabela Marquez was known for two things: her brilliance in business and her icy demeanor. Few could crack a smile from her. Fewer still had seen her laugh. She was 35, stunning and successful, having built her company from the ground up. Yet every time her board members suggested marriage alliances to strengthen business ties, she laughed them off. Men proposed. She politely declined. Wealthy suitors courted her. She ignored them. Rumor had it she didn't believe in love at all. That was until her board pushed her too far. It was a particularly exhausting evening after a board meeting where her colleagues had brought up the topic of marriage yet again. They sipped their expensive wine, discussing potential matchas, while she sat across from them, silently fuming. "Come on, Izzy, when are you going to settle down? You can't keep dodging the issue forever," coaxed Richard, her oldest friend and advisor. "Why do I have to marry anyone? I built this company to be the best damn CEO of a Fortune 500 company. Marriage isn't necessary for success." She shot back, frustrated. The men exchanged glances. This wasn't the first time they'd tried to convince her. "You're 35, Isabela. Your biological clock is ticking," Richard said gently. But she threw her glass down onto the table, the ice cubes scattering. "That's it. I'm done. I'll marry the next person who walks through that door," she announced, half daring the universe to prove her wrong. The room went silent. Everyone expected some glamorous investor or high-profile guest to walk in. After all, the revolving door of the C-suite was always stocked with eligible but the door creaked open slowly, and in walked Elena Torres, the 26-year-old janitor girl whose shift it was to clean the offices at night. She was humming to herself, oblivious to the stunned silence she'd caused, dressed in a simple dark blue uniform, her long black hair tied back under a white cap. She clutched her mop like a shield. She froze when she saw every pair of eyes on her, her cheeks flushing pink. "Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt," she stammered, her eyes darting around the room before falling to her feet. "It's fine, Elena. Come in," said Richard, breaking the silence and recovering first. But his eyes held amusement, and he subtly nudged Isabela. She knew she should probably take it back. What did she really know about this girl? Nothing, except that she was hardworking and always polite. But there was something about her shy, genuine eyes that disarmed her. "Actually, Elena, I need your help," she said, standing up. "What? Sure," replied Elena, confused but eager to please. "Would you do me a favor and have dinner with me? Just us," she added quickly, noticing the surprised look on Elena's face. She wanted to add that it was a date, but she wasn't sure if that was appropriate. She hadn't asked anyone out in years. Elena hesitated, unsure if this was a joke or an advance. She didn't want to make assumptions. On the one hand, she liked the CEO. She was different from the other women who worked here. On the other, she was a lowly janitor. A part of her thrilled at the unexpected offer, but another part screamed at her to run. Before she could overthink it, Isabela continued, "Consider it a thank you for your hard work and as a reward for being such a responsible employee. Pick any restaurant. How does that sound?" Elena knew she shouldn't refuse, but couldn't help but ask, "Are you sure?" "Absolutely," replied Isabela, surprised by how much she didn't want to be questioned. Before Elena could say more, Isabela cut in, "I'll see you tomorrow evening then, Elena. Same place, 7 p.m. Don't be late." With that, She turned and walked away, leaving Elena feeling a mix of emotions she couldn't quite sort out. Dinner went well, or rather it would have if Elena's mind wasn't racing. She kept replaying the events from earlier that day in her head. How had she gone from cleaning the CEO's office to having a private dinner with her? Had she been too forward when agreeing? Now, she was sitting across from the most powerful woman in the city who had made it clear she wanted to spend time with her. Elena tried to focus on the food and conversation, but couldn't shake off the anxiety gnawing at her. For Isabella, it was like any other business negotiation. Well, almost. Usually, she'd be sizing up a potential investor or business partner, analyzing their strengths and weaknesses, but tonight, she was getting to know the woman she'd made a somewhat impulsive promise to. She was drawn to Elena's candidness and spirit. Over the course of their meal, she learned about Elena's dreams of becoming a nurse, her immigrant mother, and how she was helping her younger brother through school. In turn, Elena saw a side of Isabella no one else knew. She wasn't just powerful. She was witty, humble, and surprisingly goofy. And for the first time in a long time, Isabella laughed easily, and often, as weeks passed, their dinners became a regular occurrence. Whispers spread around the office. The mighty CEO and the janitor girl were spending time together. Some cretins mocked Elena, calling her names and snide remarks, while others simply envied her. Meanwhile, Isabella grew increasingly fond of Elena. She enjoyed their conversations, the way Elena challenged her perspectives, and the quiet companionship she offered. Though Isabella had never admitted it, she craved someone like Elena in her life. One Saturday morning, Isabella called Elena at home. "Do you have plans today? I'd like to meet you somewhere," she asked, hoping her casual tone betrayed nothing. Not really. What did you have in mind?" Elena replied, sleepily rubbing the sleep from her eyes. "There's this new exhibit at the Art Institute. I thought we could go. If not, it's fine." "We can cancel," Isabella offered, already regretting putting so much emphasis on the invitation. "I'd like that." "Which entrance should I meet you at?" Elena asked, perking up at the prospect of an outing on Sunday afternoon. As they strolled hand in hand through Millennium Park, Elena stopped to admire the Cloud Gate sculpture. It was one of her favorite places in the city. She turned to Isabella and noticed for the first time how elegant the CEO looked outside of the boardroom. She wore a simple yet stylish dress, and her hair flowed freely instead of being pulled back in a severe bun. "You know, you're actually fun to hang out with," Isabella Elena said with a smile. The CEO paused, surprised by the compliment. It wasn't often she heard casual comments from Elena, who tended to be more reserved around her. "Thank you," Isabella replied, unable to stop a smile from tugging at her lips. As the months went on, their bond deepened. Isabella found herself looking forward to Elena's company more than board meetings. Elena, in turn, felt encouraged by the CEO's support and admiration. She even began taking night classes to improve her English and communication skills. Then one rainy Tuesday evening, as they walked side by side under an awning to escape the downpour, Elena finally admitted, "This is crazy, Isabella. You're you, and I'm just me. People won't accept this." Isabella stopped and took Elena's hands in hers, her thumb gently stroking Elena's knuckles. "I don't care about people. I care about you. I haven't felt this way about anyone. For the first time in years, I feel like myself when I'm with you. Isn't that enough?" Elena's heart raced at the confession. but her rational mind kicked in. We're not the same, Isabella. You're a CEO who can have anyone. I'm a janitor. My life isn't like yours, who says our lives can't intertwine. I'm not looking for someone who's like me. I want someone who makes me feel grounded, who challenges me, who loves me for who I am, not what I have. And that person is you, Elena. Nothing else matters, Isabella replied, her gaze unwavering. In that moment, Elena knew she couldn't deny her feelings any longer. She leaned in and kissed Isabella under the shelter of the awning, sealing their love with a promise to cherish each other every day. The rain seemed to dance in celebration around them. A few months later, Isabella shocked the business world again. At a charity gala, she made a grand entrance with Elena by her side, not as an employee, but as her partner. Cameras flashed as she confidently introduced Elena to the crowd. Everyone, this is my partner, Elena Torres, she announced, her voice ringing with happiness. Many gasped, surprised by the CEO's choice. Whispers spread through the crowd, but Isabella ignored them, her eyes shining with adoration as she looked at Elena. Later that evening, during her speech, she raised her glass to love. She toasted, which doesn't always arrive in the package you expect. But when it does, you'd be a fool to let it go. Elena squeezed Isabella's hand, her eyes glistening with tears as she watched the CEO hold her up as an example to the entire city, proving that sometimes the most unlikely love stories can be the greatest